Ladies, gentlemen, pronouns. Sorry I'm late. I got busy doing something and kind of lost track of time for a few minutes. Glad to see a couple people are here chasing tail outdoors. Nice to see you. Lizelle, nice to see you. Who else we got in here? Um, chasing tail. Okay. Um, yeah, we had a little bit of a setback with the Fourth Impact uh, concerts that are coming up. Um, they've been postponed. So the new date is going to be November 18th at the Garden Grove Center in California. So there's only 500 seats. So, we'll hope that we can get some people in the seats and, show these ladies some love. Show these ladies, we really care about them. Just let me invite a good friend up on the panel here for a bit. So how's everybody's weekend so far? Hey, Paul, how you doing? Yeah, I just got in myself. I was busy doing something and I kind of lost track of time a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, I got to be live in about 2 minutes. So I had to rush and do a couple things. And so I was a little bit late myself. So no biggie. We can all get over it. Yeah, like I was just saying, the concerts for the 17th and 19th have been postponed for Fourth Impact. Unfortunately, uh, I was given information by a reputable source. I'm not going to disclose what actually happened because that's the business of Fourth Impact. I just want to help promote their new date that they're going to be playing is November 18th at the Garden Grove Center in California. So, go to their website, get your tickets, and show these ladies some love. Yeah, the weekends are always too short. There's only 2 days. So yeah, we're gonna hope that we get those seats filled and get some people in there to show the ladies some love. And like I always say, if you're down there and you get to see them, tell them Crazy Kid sends his love. So, but yeah, it's been a weird week for me. It's been a weird weekend too. Like just a lot of things going on, and gotta shuffle things around, and it's just been. I can't wait till I can actually slow down a little bit and just work on making my videos, you know, much better and much better and much better. I'm working on some different ways of making them more interesting. So you know, look for some positive changes in the videos. Um, I'm also looking at December 1st going into comedy Christmas songs. Hey, Christina, how you doing, hon? Hey, it was great seeing you at the Fourth Impact live stream, even though it was a sad one. But you know, hey, that's just us showing our love for the ladies. Like when they're hurting, we stand up beside them and we say, hey, lean on our strength, lean on our strength for a bit. Take a little bit of strength from us, and you can get through this. Uh, I'm retired and things have been never so busy. I worked less when I was in the Navy. Yeah, exactly. Like I worked less when I was working at the job at the factories. Um, that probably is not going to happen, Christina, because usually after their live streams, because a lot of their when they're doing singing and they're playing the backing track, it gets copyright claimed. So they take a lot of their live streams down. So you're pretty much going to have to lean on somebody like Pink Panther or Wong for them because they record it. Hey, Gordon Freeman, your boss was unreasonable. I've had unreasonable bosses too. Um, one time when I was 17 years old, I had this job as a janitor at a restaurant on the 401. It's a major highway here in Ontario, and this guy was such a pain in the butt to work for. He did not care what the labor law was. He would make it up on his own. And when I quit to take on this other job in a different with a different company, my final day was Mother's Day, and when he left, it was like 2 hours left of my shift. I went out to say goodbye to him. I was like, "Hey, Martin, yeah, happy Mother's Day." And he goes, "Mother's Day? I'm a guy." I says, "Yeah, but you sure are a mother. You're to work for." Like, what was he going to do? Fire me 2 hours before the end of my contract, the end of my working there? Oh, say hi to Timmy for me. Yeah, I had to go outside and have a cigarette. I had to calm down because seeing the girls cry like that, it was tearing me up. It was tearing me up. I was like, I can't see, like I can't stand seeing women being taken advantage of like that and breaking down like that. That's just it infuriated me. I'm a softie when it comes to all four of them. Like I I wish I could have been there just to give them all a great big hug and let them know that hey, you know, you have a great group of dreamers. Lean your follies and your falters. Lean that on us. Let us know. Let us help you get through and get past these situations. That's because the two concerts that they had booked are now postponed. And postponed is a polite way of saying that they ain't gonna happen. But they were invited to play as an opening band at the Garden Grove Center in California on November 18th. So go to the website, get your tickets, and show them some love. Good one. We'll save that and use it on my coworkers. Yeah, think about it. That really happened, man. There's not a lot of there's a few things in my channel that like the things not to say to a police officer. Two of them I actually did say and found out that that's not what you really want to say to a police officer. But the rest of them are just thoughts that I had. Basically doing like almost like a whose line is it anyway kind of world's worst thing to say to a police officer. So um, but yeah, everything else on my channel, like it really happened. Like my cliff diving accident, yeah, that happened. That that hurt. But yeah, it was a sad stream, but we just have to show them that we stand behind them. Hey, Linda, how you doing? How you doing, Linda? It's great to see you. And a guy that was a little Hitler. He ruined 10 years of hard work because he had a chip on his shoulder and decided to take it out. Yeah, yeah. When you have to work with or for people like that, it's like you know Stand still, buddy. I'll fucking spin your head around. Like I had a guy, he thought he was all that in a bag of chips as a supervisor, and I basically let him have it. I let him know that you may be the supervisor, I'm the one building the parts. I get to decide how many get done. So you can either play nice, play polite, or you can suffer the wrath of the upper management coming down on your ass because you can't inspire the people to do more work. Some of these people, they get into these, you know, authoritative positions and it goes to their head. I've had supervisors that just were like the best people to work for. I woke up with a heavy heart from Fourth Impact live stream last night. Yeah, yeah, I'm still shaking about it. Like, put it this way, here, the person who was responsible for that is lucky I wasn't down in California because I'd probably be in jail right now. The Fourth Impact wouldn't go into detail, but I know somebody from behind the scenes, and they let me know what was going on. And for me, it's not my place to disclose those things. That's something that I want Fourth Impact to eventually come forward and say, "This is what happened." So it for now, we're just gonna have to go with the you know go with the fact that the dates are postponed and they have a new date on the 18th at the Garden Grove in California, and we just have to try and show them the love and support. So yeah, I would have been in jail if I'd have been down in California when that happened, because I probably would have grabbed that producer by the throat. I would have lost my shit on him. No two ways about it. Well, it was lack of promotion what it was. Like they give them to a certain date to sell so many tickets, and if they can't fill the number of seats required to pay for the event and make sure that the promoter gets their money, then the promoter's just going to say, either you're going to have to pay me and do your show for free, or we're just going to shut it down. And you know I I tried to do what I could to try to promote. I can only do so much, and so can so many other people. And you know all we can do is hope that the girls go back to the Philippines, save, and then when they try it again, you know do it smaller, play smaller events, fairs, um, clubs, uh, you know, smaller venues, get more like do more shows for a smaller audience. Don't go for the big stage right away where you got 5,000 people. Go with the smaller, 500, 600 people venues. Build up your reputation as great performers, which they already are. But when you're breaking into a new country for doing um, your performing, you have to start small. You can't just go to the big stage. You have to start small. Hey, Silicone, how you doing? I think they should have started out at county fairs. I think they should have started out at like county fairs, um, clubs, um, uh, like gymnasiums. Fourth Impact will return to the Philippines for the holidays and return to the U.S. I believe by February. I hope so, but I hope they start out or they come out and they start swinging smaller, do more shows, fewer people, and then those people will tell other people. Get the word of mouth out before you do the big stage. Paul says they should have started in Canada. I believe that because when you look at it, take a look in history. How many people show in the comment section by the number one? How many people have heard of the band Who or the Who? They started out in Canada, and there isn't a rock and roll fan that hasn't heard of the band Who or the Who. Yeah, casinos uh, are a good musical event. Doing casinos, county fairs. Um, like yeah, actually they were known in New York. Yeah, yeah, they were known in New York big time. Yeah, and another thing is think about the timing of the concert as well. We're getting close to Christmas. The concerts were coming out during the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. Personally, as a person with semi, I like to call myself a semi smart person. I would have never booked anything around Black Friday or the American Thanksgiving or even the Canadian Thanksgiving. When it comes to holidays, you leave them alone. You don't go on stage for them. You leave them alone unless you are like some major superstar, like if Beyonce were to go around, she could sell tickets on Christmas Day. I'll guarantee it. But she's got the huge name to back her up. Fourth Impact are breaking into the music industry in the United States, and the promoter thought it was a great idea to do it on Thanksgiving weekend for the United States. People are too traditionally programmed to watch football and go shopping during those days. It was a bad decision to do any kind of concert for a brand new group on the American Thanksgiving. Exactly. And if I had the Rolodex, or if Paul from Canada had the Rolodex, the two of us could team up, and we could promote these girls the way that they need to be promoted. Read of what band? The Who. You know, like, um, if you've ever heard of the band Who, the Who, uh, you know, they came from Canada. They actually came from Regina, like, or actually Winnipeg. So, they came from the middle of Canada. They actually went out to BC and got recognized out there. But they had been trying to break into the American music industry for the first part of their career, and it just wasn't happening. They went out to Vancouver, played a couple of smaller events and a couple of fairs and whatnot like that out there, and they got recognized and they got a record deal. And then once their records hit the airways, boom, proper promotion put them on the map. They got rid of the promoters in Korea because they were treated like a not very good group, so they got rid of them. Yeah, and the promoters in Korea were not promoting them at all. They were expecting Fourth Impact to do their own promotion. Like, why are we freaking paying you to be our promoter if you're not doing your job? You're expecting us to do your job. You put us in this. You put us on the stage. You fill the seats, and we'll entertain those people. That's the way the music industry should be working. But nowadays, the promoters are so freaking lazy that they just say, "Oh no, you got to promote your own shit." Screw you. That's not how this works. You're the one who's supposed to give us the or get us in front of the TV, radio, music, or TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, and promote us. You're supposed to be the one setting that stuff up, not us. We're just supposed to go there and entice people to come and see us. Yeah, they're top notch everywhere, really, but not a lot of people know who Fourth Impact is in the Western world. In the Eastern world, in Asia, yeah, they're you say Fourth Impact, people all of a sudden start smiling. A good promoter should not be very expensive. A good promoter should work for a very small. Hey, RHH, a good promoter should work for a small percentage and be good enough to handle a number of clients. And the better they are at promoting, the more money they're going to make. Not this, okay, you're going to do all your promotions for you. You're going to pay me to promote you, but you're going to do all your promotions for you. That's bullshit. Well, I can't say for yes or no on that, Christina. Um, uh, why they would want to go for the bigger venues. They have over 24,000 subscribers. Yeah, 80% live in the United States. Yeah, but the thing about it is you also have to realize there's 300 million people in the United States. Okay. And the United States is, I believe, the fourth largest country in the world by landmass. So they're spread out. Canada is the second largest. So, and we're spread out. Like we're tight around the border. You know, most 80% of the Canadian population lives around the United States border. But we have a lot of landmass to accommodate for, but that landmass is a lot of it uninhabitable. Timmy Stories, how you doing, honey? The thing is, Korea will never promote foreign artists that can compete their own artists that can beat them in the future. Yeah, and that's another thing is there is far, far, far too much discrimination going on in entertainment industry, in uh, any of the performing or written arts. Like I'm even victim of freaking discrimination. I have 3 book proposals from 3 reputable companies for my story, but because I'm a white, single, heterosexual male, I don't qualify for any government grants that anybody else can qualify for. There's no grants available for a heterosexual, a straight white man. None. I've checked. And I've complained to the government, and all they said was, well, we're inclusive. You're not including my group. How is that being inclusive? But they don't get it. It's the far left bullshit that's going on. I checked out the venues that Fourth Impact was supposed to go to, and one had a capacity of 3 to 450 people, and the second had a capacity up to 600 people. Therefore, they did not book a 5,000. Yeah, like I was just thinking the bigger stadiums and stuff like that. I know they want to get into the bigger stadiums, but you have to earn those bigger stadiums. And I don't want to sound mean about it, but in order to earn those stadiums, you have to play the smaller ones first. Like um, Kevin Hart filled a football stadium and performed for what was it, 84,000 people. He earned that by playing the comedy clubs, moving up to the theaters, moving up to the amphitheaters, moving up to the major stadiums, just to get to the point where he could perform and sell the tickets out for that football stadium. You have to work your way up. You can't just walk in and say, "Hey, we're good. We want the big stage." Canada is way too deep into the far left Kool-Aid. Yeah, like, and it's all because of that pot smoking prime minister that we got. Yeah, Shania Twain started out small. So did Michelle Wright, or not Michelle Wright. Michelle, forgot her name again. She was from here, right, nearby. And hey, Thunder, she was right from nearby from where I lived. I actually watched her live before she became a big star. And I know some of the people, like I know some of the people personally who were in her band before she became a big star. So, like, it's just uh yeah, yeah, we are now in the minority. The single white straight male is the minority. And we have all these other people saying, well, the the white supremacy and all that crap. Get over it. Just get over it. Bring us all back down to human beings, because that's what you really are. You're a human being. And if you decide that you're not a human being anymore, go swim in the ocean. We don't need you. People are forcing the confusion anymore. Let's get off all this negativity. Let's get off all this negativity. But um like, even when I was performing on stage, like, the first time I was on stage, I made everybody laugh. And it's hard um to perform stand-up comedy in front of people, because they've already heard your stuff thousands of times. And the first night that I performed, there was 45 people in the audience of 250 that knew me before I went on stage. So they had already heard most of my stuff. And they scattered themselves throughout the audience. So there's nowhere I could look where there wasn't somebody that I recognized or knew. So it was kind of hard for me, because, like, one thing that they told me before going on stage was try and find somebody you don't know, because it's easier to talk to somebody you don't know because they've never heard of it before. So you concentrate on those people. Well, all my friends and family and coworkers were scattered throughout the audience. I was like, shit, there's nowhere I can look that I can't see somebody who already knows my stuff. So that was kind of hard for me, but I made everybody laugh and had a great time. Did a great 15-minute set, and then got off the stage. I do respect people who can perform on stage. Most people can't get over the stage fright. Yeah, and that's where I was getting at. Is, like, stage fright is, you got to. Um, some people are more comfortable with people that they know. Hey, Tina. And some people, like myself, I needed to be able to visualize somebody that I didn't know, because then I can get their honest reaction to what I was saying on stage. So I played to those people, and I had everybody laughing. And when I got off the stage, the club manager's like, Oh, it's just, you got to go down in the states, down in Detroit, and do some shows down there. I'm like, I don't think so, pal. And he's like, why not? And I was like, because I don't want to be starting out my show. I don't want to be opening up my show with "Don't shoot, I'm Canadian." Thunder, Crazy Kid. It's my first time here. Other than I subbed, I like what I see. Hey, thanks a lot for coming by. Thanks a lot for liking the live stream. Yeah, don't forget everybody, hit the like, share, and subscribe. Um, uh, every thumbs up you give a piece of content for a creator sends that content out to 7 different people who would not normally get the notification. So don't forget to hit them thumbs up, 'cause that's very important. I don't even know Fourth Impact was until I watched your reaction videos. But hey, I'm glad that you found I helped you find them. I totally respect and love Fourth Impact. I wish more people would go to their shows and stuff, and even go to their live stream and you know uh, show them love and support. Oh, that's great, Linda. I've got all kinds of videos that I did about my own personal stand-up routines. They're all original and they all really happen. Well, except for the cop stories. Those ones were just basically, like whose line is that anyways? World worst things to say to a police officer. And they say, "You have any idea why I pulled you over?" Yeah, checking to see if I'm up past my bedtime. Actually said that to a cop one time. He almost fell on his ass. Another thing that I said to a cop one time was he pulled me over. I had a box of donuts in my hand and 2 coffees. Yeah, welcome aboard the Crazy Train Express. I had a box of donuts in my hand that my mom gave me these coupons for 6 donuts and there's 6 donuts for like $3. And I was like, you don't give a fat guy coupons for donuts because they're going to use them. So I used them. I'm on my way home, and Tim Hortons is just down the street. So I'm walking on my way home, and this cop stops right in front of me. He's got the lights going and everything. I got 2 cups of coffee in my hand, and I got a box of donuts. And he goes, "Where are you coming from?" Like it isn't obvious. I just looked at him and I said, "The police academy. I just finished Donut 101, and as you can see, I've got homework." The cop laughed so hard he got in his car and he took off. I've said some really strange things to police officers just to make them laugh. They have a tough job. And I take my hat off. I salute anybody who puts their life on the line for another person. I salute you 100%. I respect anybody who's in the military, who's in the military, who has been in the military, who's been in active service. I salute you. I thank you for defending our rights and freedoms when you have to. Do I do I like the idea of having to have a military? Not really. We need to have peace on earth. We need to get along with each other. We need to be able to do away with any type of military force other than protecting from, you know, other planets. But until then, we have to be able to defend ourselves from an oppressing outside force. So the military is needed. It's a necessary evil, in my opinion. I thank you for your service, Thunder. Hey, Scott Davidson, how you doing, my friend? But yeah, I like I said, I've had cops. Actually, you know what the cops call donuts? Little trivia for you. You know what cops call donuts? They call them police batteries. They call them police batteries when they're on the PA system. I'm going to get some police batteries, and everybody knows they're on. Like all the dispatch knows they're on their way to Tim Hortons. Well, I thank you for your service, Thunder. Yeah, I was born just as the you know Vietnam War was. I was too young to even know what Vietnam War was when it was happening. Oh, Chasing Tail is a veteran too. I thank you for your service, my friend. Yeah. But yeah, I've said some really strange things to police officers. Like this one time, I was coming home uh, uh, from up north. I was working at this sales outlet. I was on my way home. I was taking a new way home, and the guy in front of me was a heavy foot, and I'm following him. And I just got my car back from Mr. Transmission, getting the clutch replaced. Everything was working fine before I brought it there, but when I got pulled over by the police for doing a buck five and an 80, like 105 kilometers an hour and an 80, he this and it was raining out, and this cop come up to the door. This OPP guy comes up to the door, and he's like, "Reason why I pulled you over is because you only got one headlight up front." I'm like, "Well, last time I checked, there was two of them up there." And he goes, "Don't get smart with me, son." He says, "You're in a lot of trouble here." Well, this is, don't get me wrong. I said, let me preface this. I don't know if you know anybody who likes being pulled over by the police. I'm not one of them. So at least let me have a little bit of fun with it. So this way here I'm not on edge and it won't put you on edge. He sat there and thought about it. Yeah, okay. That sounds all right. He just basically opened the door. I let it loose. He goes, "What's the story about only having one headlight up front?" I said, "Well, maybe that's why I can only see half the road." He starts laughing. And I was like, "Oh, I got it now." So he's going through this laundry list of things that are wrong with my car. Like, the back windshield wiper wasn't working. And I was like, "Hey, I've been trying to fix that, trying to work on that." I said, "But, I said, here's my bill for Mr. Transmission. I picked up my car like literally an hour ago. So I just paid $735 in 1992 for them to break my car like it was. Everything was working beforehand, just the clutch was burned out." So he's looking at the bill and he goes, "Okay." He goes, "What about the defroster?" I said, "It's not working. I gotta tear my car apart just to find out what the heck they did." So he goes, "Well, get it fixed." He's telling me to get all this shit fixed. So then he says, or I told him, I said, "I got some good news though." And he goes, "What's that?" And I said, "The radio just started working." So he starts laughing. He goes to turn away, gets about two or three steps back, comes back to the window, and he says, "By the way, you have any idea how fast you were going?" Now, after all this stuff that I've told him is broken from these idiots at Mr. Transmission in Owen Sound, I just looked at this cop. I never cracked a smile. I said, "Don't you dare tell me my speedometer's messed up too." He just looked back at me. He said, "Oh my God, get it fixed." I knew I was doing a buck five. It said buck five on my speedometer, but I was like, "Well, let's see how far I can pull this fish in." But yeah, I talked my way out of that speeding ticket. 25 over in the rain. Mm-mm. With one headlight, that's dangerous driving. I got out of that with zero tickets. Yeah, I was thankful for that one. When I got home, I spent the entire weekend tearing my car apart, fixing everything, getting everything working again, put a new headlight up, new turn signals all the way, like turn lights all the way around it. And freaking, I pretty much rewired my entire car for that. I only know Vietnam War when watch Rambo. Yeah, that's the only time I knew anything about the Vietnam War. And yeah, so old he farts dust. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad to see everybody here. Glad to see hopefully everybody's having fun. Yeah, I don't know how they mess so many things up. Like they just rip everything apart and just, oh, whatever. I got the transmission in there. I've changed transmissions in my cars. Wow, thank you. Thank your father for his service, Mr. Scott Davidson. My grandfather was a engineer in the Canadian military in World War II. He went ahead of the troops and built bridges for them to cross on. And he was one of the few people that actually got to fight or got to work on the Bren gun, the big gun at the top of the armor unit. Yeah, but he passed away after the war in '68, just before, like literally a few years before I was born. So I was born in '71. So I'm like 52. Finally made the full deck of cards this year. Now, when people say that I'm not playing with a full deck, I can show them my birth certificate and prove them wrong. So, but yeah, don't forget, folks, if you want to drop your link, Nightbot will drop your link if you type in 949 in the chat. So, if one of the OGs can show you how it's done, that'd be fantastic. Dealing with police as a kid was challenging to say the least. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, especially when you knew most of them. Yeah, yeah. Like I grew up in a really small town, and yeah, we knew all the police officers, and this one police officer was a real dick. Like, I mean, he took being like, having the power go to his head to a whole new level. Like this guy here, he would make up the law and charge you with it. And he spent more time getting wrapped by the judges than like, just because he was such a douche. Well, yeah, everybody in the town didn't like him, and I was one of them. And I was just a lad, like 12, 13 years old, and I was like, this guy's a dick. But you know, I still had to respect him because he puts his life on the line for other people. Like I was a first responder when I was 17 years old for the volunteer organization, the St. John's Ambulance Brigade. We went to different fairs, uh, events, like auto racing. Uh, we went to horse racing. We'd go to hockey arenas and be there for the hockey players. I've had to take care of some stuff that I still have night terrors about. I've had to see things that teenage boys should not have to see. But I wanted to help out, and that was the price I ended up paying. Because I was going faster than you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One time, when I first got my driver's license, the police officers were bitching about um, uh, stakeouts and like ride programs and stuff like that being so long and boring that they wanted the government to give them Game Boys to pass the time. So I'm cruising down the street and doing like 12 over, and this cop pulls me over. I pull over. I'm like, "Shit, I'm toast. I'm done. You know, this he's gonna basically run me right through the ringer." He comes up to the window and he goes, "You have any idea why I pulled you over?" I just looked at him and it just happened to be uh, uh, like around that time when the Game Boys were being delivered. And I was like, "You want me to help you get past the 13th level of Mario Kart?" The cop started laughing so hard. He goes, "Get the fuck out of here." So as soon as I started talking my way out of getting tickets, I just made them laugh, and if you make the cops laugh, chances are they're going to give you a little bit of a break. And I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about really make them lose their shit. And I got good at it. Yeah, I pulled out of a Tim Hortons drive-through one time, and I was on my way to work, and I just got like a box of Timbits, which is like these little donut holes that Dunkin' Donuts calls donut holes. They're little balls of dough, and sometimes they fill them with jelly. Oh, they're good, but we call them Timbits here in Canada. I had 2 cups of coffee and this box of Timbits, and I get onto the highway, and immediately the cop pulls me over in my truck. I pull over right away and give him some room and stuff like that. And he comes up to the door and he goes, "You have any idea why I pulled you over? It was too easy." I was like, "You ain't getting my donuts, man. You're not getting my coffee. You can go in there and get your own. You want me to buy it for you? Here, I'll give you $5." He took the $5 and went and got coffee. Yeah, I bribed him with a coffee. Here, go get a coffee. And he took it. Yeah, all right, I'll go get a coffee. Right on. He went and got his coffee, and I went to work. My buddy that was in the car or in the truck with me, he was like, "I can't believe you just did that." Never answer that question as reason, and your answer could get you in twice as much. Yeah, it can, but at the same time, sometimes it'll allow you to get out of the situation, especially if you show that you're just being funny. Like, uh, was it? I was thinking of about another time that I got yanked over. Um, oh, this cop was. I had a '78 Monte Carlo, and I put wide tires on the back, on the front, and the back. I put these great big mags on it. Police here are not allowed to go into Timmy's. I called the cops for a disturbance in the parking area, and they told me no one was available. I called Timmy's. 5 cars. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I had this Monte Carlo, and I put some nice big mags on them, and the tires stuck out from the fender about that far, which is about inch and a half, 2 inches. Okay. Now I jacked the back end of the car up so the tires wouldn't rub down on the tires. So this cop pulls over. He acted like he knew everything. He thought he knew everything. And I studied the law and realized and to understand that what I was allowed to do and what the parameters were for what I was doing. So I knew how to defend myself when it came to a police officer trying to push his shit around. So this cop pulls me over and he's like, "Your tires are too big for the back of your car, blah, you're not allowed to have that sticking out, blah blah blah," and all this other stuff. And I was like, "Well, if you actually read the law," and I gave him the listing. I was like, "I'm allowed 4 inches outside the wheel well." And he's sitting there writing this ticket up, and he signs it, and he gets it all taken care of. I went to court, and I brought the ticket, I brought the information, I brought the law, and I was, "Here you go. Here's my evidence." The judge slapped that cop with a, "Hey, you can't make up the law on your own." Some cops will try to do that just to try to push their shit around, but you gotta know your rights. You gotta know the law. So this way here, that you're not being taken advantage of. But yeah, I'm gonna grab a coffee real quick, and I'm gonna keep talking. I just gotta go over there. I got a pass through in my between my kitchen and my living room where I can just reach through, grab my coffee pot, and pour me another cup of Joe. But huh. Okay, I know that there's a bunch of people that are from yeah. I know that there's a bunch of people from the Fourth Impact camp, and I know that some of them have seen my comments, like, oh, you don't want me singing, you don't want me singing, you don't want me singing. Um, so I think what I should do is let you guys know why I put those comments in. When I sing in the shower, I get notes slipped underneath my door. Like I live in an apartment building. When I sing in this, if I get caught singing in the shower, I'll get notes slipped underneath my door, and I'll read them out. And go, I used to like that song, asshole. My dog will come out from underneath the bed. Thanks. That's how bad my singing is. Like when I was a kid in school, I we had music for the first few grades. So you learn how to sing the Canadian national anthem and other songs. Well, my voice dropped when I was in grade 1, grade 2. My voice dropped, it was cracking, and it was just it was going through some changes. And it was throwing everybody else off, and my singing has been horrible ever since. So the teachers in a class of participation rules told me they would give me better marks if I did not participate. Yeah, I can't play musical instruments either, Gordon. Uh, the only musical instrument I can play is YouTube and the radio. So uh, the the teachers would tell me, don't sing. I'll give you the good marks. I'll give you better marks if you just don't sing. I'm like, cool. So uh, fast forward about 20 years later, my buddies are like, "Oh, you're funny when you react to things. Let's go out and have some fun." So they take me into this karaoke bar. Okay. And I was like, "Oh, this ain't a good idea, man. I'll just sit here and watch." Well, apparently the drinks that they were bringing us had something in it called "I Believe I Can Sing," because I found myself up at the DJ booth requesting a song to sing at this karaoke bar. And the song that I decided I wanted to sing was "The Gambler" by Kenny Rogers, because it's a nice slow song. It's mostly talking. The chorus is real easy. I figured it shouldn't be that hard. And if anybody doesn't know how "The Gambler" goes by Kenny Rogers, it goes on a on a warm summer's eve on a train bound from nowhere. I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. I got to the second line, and people started throwing popcorn at me. And I'm dodging the popcorn while I'm trying to get through this song. I didn't even make it to the chorus where he's talking about you got to know when to hold them. And the I didn't even get to that chorus, and everybody was gone. I cleared the place out. They left like I was up there announcing a bomb threat or something. And the owner of the club, bless the guy's heart, I feel bad for when this happened. He was this short little Chinese guy who was fresh off the boat, and he just opened that bar that weekend. He come up to me with this really thick English accent, rips the mic out of my hand. He's like, "You sing a song badly, you make everybody leave. You leave now, you don't come back here no more." And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I got this imagination. I'm getting bitched out by Elmer Fudd. I'm just waiting for him to go, silly rabbit. So uh, we get kicked out of there. We go down the street a little ways, and there's this comedy club spooling up for their second show. I was like, "Hey guys, let's go in here. I got to go to the bathroom anyways." So I go into the bathroom, pay my ticket, and go into the bathroom, and I'm doing my thing, and this guy pulls up on the urinal next to me, and I'm still laughing about what just happened. I can't get it out of my mind. This dude says, "What are you laughing at?" So I tell him, 15 minutes later, I'm in the middle of this comedy club, and this dude on the stage, the MC, is trying to open the show with what I told him in the bathroom. I stood up and I was like, "Hey, you read my material, you are wrong." I yelled that again. Everybody laughed. They also have a drink called "Of Course I Can Dance." Yeah, I don't go near that drink because if I had a drink like that, oh, the joints in my back and my legs would be cracking so loud you wouldn't be able to hear the music. Yeah, people ask me how I like my coffee. I like my coffee like I like my women, hot, wet, and all day long. How do I take my coffee? Seriously, very seriously. My brother actually gave me a tea towel that says that on it. But let's see who all we got in the box. Oh wow, we still got lots of people here. Nice, nice, cool beans. Uh, but the one story that I started out with, that really got me going on doing stand up comedy was my story about my handwriting. Now, in grade 2 here in Canada, yeah, thanks. Um, yeah, bone snap crackle pop. Yeah, I don't like the instants either. That's like somebody else had a coffee and they didn't like it, so they freezed it and then they poured it back into a little container and then sealed it up, put it on the grocery shelf. Yeah, I'm not into the instant coffee. I drink Maxwell House. I've got a brewer. Thank you. That's good for me. And I don't take anything in my coffee. Nightbot is savage. Yeah, he can be. But yeah, I don't take anything in my coffee other than coffee. Like when I go to Tim Hortons, they say I'll go in there and go say I'll have a large coffee, double cup. And they go, what do you want in the coffee? I say coffee. That's all I want in it is just coffee. How many creams and sugar? None. I don't even want you to lick it. I don't even want the spoon to touch that. Just pour it in the coffee, put a lid on it, hand it to me. No, no, I can't do instant coffee. To me, it tastes grainy. I can't do that. That's just me though. Um, and plus, I drink so much coffee, like it's got to be ready. Put it in the cup, away I go. You know, can't stand there, wait. Boil water. I'll fall asleep by the time the water gets boiled. The coffee helps mellow me out. So in grade 2 here in Canada, we go from block printing back in the 70s when I grew up. We went from block printing to cursive handwriting and like hook and loop stuff. So I had this teacher and she didn't like me. And the feeling was absolutely mutual. I did not like this lady. She didn't like me because apparently I got no filter. I don't have no Gandalf standing at the end of my tongue, waiting for a bad idea or an inappropriate thought to come rolling down the water slide and shooting out the gaping hole in my face. There's no Gandalf standing there going, "You shall not pass." You know, that's not happening. It just fires out, and I'm like, "Whoop, shit." Sorry. But apparently, I disrupted her classes a few too many times in the first 2 weeks that I was there, and she didn't like. So she writes this great big long note on the board. Probably took her 3 hours to put this shit up on the board. And she's expecting 7-year olds who are now just learning how to decipher this new form of communication, decipher it, read it, comprehend it, and put it in their books. Ah, I'll drink cold coffee. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. But uh, she's asking these 7-year-olds just learning this new form of communication to read it, comprehend it, understand it, and put it in their books in the same style that it's on the board in 42 minutes. Like that's not going to happen. So I figured, I'll just race through it, get it in my books, get it all in my books, and when I get home, I'll clean it up and make it look nice. So I'm sitting there running through this, and my handwriting at the best of times, it's hard to read. If I'm rushed, it's impossible to read. Like I can't even read it sometimes. Like my doctor, when I was filling out my forms for disability, he was looking at my handwriting going, let me fill that out. It's going to be neater. So uh, she's writing this note, or I'm writing this note down. She's going around checking everybody's progress. And she stopped at mine. She looks and she's like, can you actually read that? And I was like, kind of. And she goes, you stand up and read that chicken scratch to the rest of the class, making fun of the school clown. Like I took being a class clown to a whole new level. She's making fun of the school clown by saying, you read that chicken scratch to the rest of the class. Now, my parents had always told me that if an authority figure tells you to do something and it's morally correct, you got to do exactly what they say. So I got my book, stand up. Everybody fell out of their seats. Nobody got anything else written for the rest of the day. The teacher got so pissed at me, she just pointed to the door. She couldn't even speak. She just points to the door. And I figured, well, going back to the office for the fourth time today. Hi ho, hi ho. So I get to the office, and as soon as I get there, the principal's looking at his watch and going, you're back soon. So he asked me what happened. I tell him. And after he got done laughing, he pages the teacher in that other room, and he's like, "Get your butt here now." She gets there, he sits there and gives her a blast about mocking a student, and she ended up getting 2 weeks unpaid leave. And I was like, "I win one," but that wasn't the worst punishment I ever got for you know something coming out of my mouth or being bad in school. In grade 10, I had biology class, and my biology teacher. Time to buy more pretzels. My biology teacher didn't pay attention in grade 9 the year before about the 53-foot long trailer that showed up with my file in it. Everybody else's file was in a box in the front seat. Mine filled the 53-foot trailer for all the stuff that I did in public school. So I go to high school, and in grade 10, the biology teacher didn't do his homework on who was going to be in his class to find out what kind of person they are. So how's he supposed to expect me to do my homework, right? So the very first day of the semester, he announces that we're going to be dissecting frogs on X day, on whatever X day. It was like 3 weeks in advance. And with a person like me, that just gives me too much time to think of something stupid to do. And I did. I did. The day comes along where we're going to be dissecting frogs, and when nobody was looking, I switched mine out with a live one. It was like, mine's getting away. It was complete pandemonium in that classroom. There's people falling out of their chairs, they're puking, they're passing out, they're fainting, they're laughing their ass off, they're peeing their pants. It was just nuts. And here's this little frog, ribbit, 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 just bouncing all over the place. He kicks me out of the classroom and wouldn't let me come back in, but I still had to finish the class. So I was sitting there in the hallway with a cup to the door, writing out my notes. And then I reminded him that if he failed me, I was going to be in his class the next year. So he passed me. I think that's how I made it through school. Teachers were too afraid to have me in their class another year. Oh, well, made for fun stories. So is everybody still awake? Sorry about that. Oh, wow. I just got a confirmation that we just reached 25,000 views as a community. Nice. Cool. I'll have to post that up. Ta-da! Oh yeah, I was doing it all. Man. I was like, there was actually a person that was like, "It's alive." A pass is a pass. A win is a win. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said too. Like, and it was kind of funny because my grades were like C's and D's all the way through school, and all of a sudden, when it got into grade 11, all of a sudden I was B's, A's. You know, because I found out something when I hit grade 11. I found a way that I could calm myself down and actually pay attention. Now, a lot of people are going to say, that you should have never done that. And, I totally agree, but I got drunk every day for like 2 years and I was able to concentrate on what was going on. So that's how I got my A's and B's in school. But I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of pain too. But that's a totally different story. No. I did a little bit of experimenting with a couple things like hash, mushrooms, acid, pot, but I didn't like what it was doing to me, so I just said I don't need that shit, and I just had drinking, whatever I could drink, that was it. I remember the frogs ended up as fried frog legs. Yeah, not in our class. Our class, they stunk. Oh, I remember that class was horrible, man. Yeah, I got those stories on my channel. They're in the comedy section, the channel videos playlist. Have yourself a party and play them in the background. And have yourself some entertainment. But uh, like the heaviest thing I got into was a couple times I took a couple hits or took a hit of acid. And that was about it. But I didn't like how it was what it was doing to me. I didn't have any control over myself. I was like, "Ooh, nope, stop that. That's enough for that. I've had my fun. That was it." Cleaned myself up, and then I got addicted to coffee, and then, you know that's where I'm at now. I drink more coffee than anything. Like I've got a bottle of rum that I bought 2 years ago, and it's still got about this much in it. It's a 26er or 750 milliliter bottle. I went all the way to bubblegum. Yep. I did some stupid stuff in my day, but we all do. It's just a matter of what you do to bring yourself out of it, what you do to make yourself better from it. It was an experience. That's all it was. But I started smoking way too young, and the odds of me being able to quit not while I'm still going through some PTSD. So I I smoke to level myself out, to get myself away from a situation. Gives me a reason to leave. And that's, you know, if somebody follows me out and keeps at me, they're the one that's in trouble, not me. Uh, so everybody give yourselves a shout out. We'll, I bought my parents a bottle of Coupe Visor in 78. Still have it unopened. Nice. It'd be like vinegar by now, but did you put it so the liquid was on the cork or the cap? 80 proof. Yeah, if you put the liquid, if you tilt it so that the liquid goes onto the cap, it seals better. One of those wine things. Yeah, there's that little bit of air at the top of the bottle. You gotta get that air to go to the bottom of the bottle. Do that with any bottle. Put the liquid to the cap, and it helps seal it. It keeps it from uh, what do they say at the Peely Island? By doing that, it keeps the liquid inside from over fermenting and turning into um, vinegar. Like it keeps it from being turned to vinegar longer. So mount it as a cannon. Yeah, you point the cannon down now, or even flat. The water or the liquid will still be in the cap. But yeah, it keeps any air from coming in, and keeps the liquid from becoming or going to vinegar. But actually, fun fact: my parents were married in 1968, and one year they get like I've got this big freezer, and they're like, "Oh, we got to clean out our freezer," and they hand me this bag with all this stuff in it, and in that bag is a little piece of their wedding cake. Now, I don't know of anybody who would want to taste it, but my mom says, "Oh, just throw that away." I said, "No, I'm not throwing that away. I'm gonna cut a piece of that when you guys you know pass away. I'm gonna cut a piece of that and I'm gonna put it in with your ashes, and then put the rest of it back in the freezer until the other one passes away, and then put that in with your ashes. So this way here, you still have the same cake. You can have your cake and eat it too then. But I still got my parents' wedding cake. They've been married for 55 years. That is a very long time to be picking up somebody else's shorts off the floor. Oh, and their anniversary is 2 days before my birthday. Let us see. Well, I think I'm gonna shut this down. I've been going on for about an hour and 20 minutes. Take care, everyone. Catch you on the next reaction. Crazy all the best, Linda. Hey, yeah, thanks a lot for being here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Everybody for having. I hope everybody had fun. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Um, and I wish everybody peace. love, and happiness. Have a great night, everybody.